Well, it's Friday, TGIF, and guess what I got on the front door? Yeah, another parcel. This one's from eBay. Bought a whole bunch of Greenlight not too long ago. Surprised it actually came from the United States in pretty quick speed and time. And this is a big box of Greenlight GM four-door cars. We're going to go through all these. Got some really good prices on them. Bought a few more Dodge Diplomats. Yes, I did end up buying the 1979 Ford Ltd Sedan. There's some gripes we're going to talk about. That's some detail issues, really. That's about it. Nothing huge. But I got a good price on them. I'm going to turn those into some demolition derby cars. And also, for the junkyard, you know, there's just so many cars over here. And those big old four-door cars really do look good in my junkyard, I have to admit. You guys let me know what you think. And also, should I get these cars dusted up and rusted up, or do they look okay like that? Basically, I buy duplicates so that I can experiment with some customization, which I have not done yet in a while, not with these cars. So we'll get to that probably, I don't know when, but at some point on the channel, we're going to get to that. Meanwhile, I got some other cool things in here. Let's just dig through here. A-Team GMC Jimmy Sierra Classic. Can't wait to get one of those opened up. I expect that one probably sold out rather quickly. And I got another one of these. I had bought one of these before. You just saw in the junkyard. F100 is just so nice and dusted up. It looks terrific. I'd only bought one before, so Jesse's pickup truck from Dukes of Hazzards, basically. Got a couple of those, as we saw. Got another one of those Jimmys. And yeah, the New York cab from the 1984 Dodge Diplomat. I had not received this one and was worried I wasn't going to get it because it is a hobby exclusive, so those aren't released forever. Typically a shorter run than normal Greenlight stuff, so I got at least one or two of those, I think. Lots of duplicates in here, so you can see there's another one. Anyways, is there anything else new in here? No, mostly just tons and tons of big old four-door cars. Lots and lots of them. I think I paid about, $10 each with shipping. So that's pretty good. If you're in the United States buying these, I'm in Canada myself, that's why it's a bit more expensive. You probably could get these for about $7 or $8 from certain sellers. But like I said, they're kind of disappearing quickly. So I basically just went and got a whole pile of these things so I can make a huge junkyard full of four-door 1980s cars, my absolute favorite thing. And didn't see when I first opened up the box for you guys just a moment ago, two of these 1980 Chevrolet Caprice Classics. Cracked out one of each from the packaging just now. No flaws or defects, I'm happy to say, from these Greenlight models. They all roll fairly decent, and I'll demonstrate that towards the end of the video. But first, just looking at the cars here. Dodge Diplomat side by side. The 81 versus the 86, as you can see right there. I am going to turn these cars around for you a little bit too as this video unfolds. But first, let's just do a pan across the cars. We've got the 1980 Chevrolet Caprice out of the package. The 79 Ford Ltd. Now, some complaints on this one. Just the trim. Basically comes down to trim issues. The chrome along the rocker panel, the door sill, I should say. Too tall compared to the actual car in real life. There's a actual advertisement from Ford for that vehicle, and you can just see the chrome is kind of like almost like a giant stripe, and then that little bit on the back portion of the roof behind the rear door, it's supposed to just be a little tiny piece of chrome, and they've turned it into a giant silver stripe. So really not that big of a deal. These are things that a customizer could fix up easily, and in my case they're really not going to bother me as much as I thought they would. And also, I've got the X-Files 1983 Ford Ltd just back out here. Even though we just reviewed this not that long ago. Want to do a side-by-side of the cop car versus the civilian car from Vintage Ad Cars Series 4 is where you would have found that one. I've got the 83 GMC Jimmy Sierra Classic. Another welcome addition to my collection of square boxy trucks of the 80s. It's got the removable cap, of course, with a full spare tire. Hitch and tow hitch. Probably my favorite out of the bunch, though, still is this truck, and I'm happy to have now two of them. So, got the one still in the package. I just grabbed the one off the junkyard for now. Probably going to keep one in the package just because I do like the artwork on these kind of incognito Dukes of Hazzards collectibles. And yeah, so let's go in for a closer look on all these vehicles now. I'm going to put the camera down on a tripod. Let's take a look at this one close up first, because I feel like I've bashed it a little too hard in a previous video. And certainly other reviewers that I've seen on YouTube may have as well, because it's really not a bad model. It's a great new casting, actually. And just needs a little fine-tuning as far as respecting the original trim work of the car. It's got a little bit of a factory grease stain that's being a little bit stubborn on the roof there, but I'll get that off, I'm sure. And it's got really good details, authentic details on the front. Do a side-by-side with a different model year from the X-Files. I like how it's got the silver trim around the front windshield. And they've done a nice job around showing the double trim, as it were, on these cars. You've got like a drip lip chrome trim around the door itself, and then the door and the window would have trim. So that's why you're going to see two lines of chrome there. So I realize this is a fairly difficult thing for Greenlight to get perfect and lined up perfectly. I think they've done a fairly nice job with this car. The only gripe really is that this lower chrome is almost a third the width of the door. So really, if it had just been maybe a quarter of the width of the door, it wouldn't have been so noticeable. And on the back here, well, I mean, there's some nice details. I'm not sure if we can see that with the camera. It says, I believe it says like limited. Anyway, so that's that car, and those look great. So I hope to see more of these cars from Greenlight, and I really do like when they do the non-police, non-taxi versions. Of course, we haven't seen a taxi version of that car yet, so that's likely to come out and would be nice. I do collect all the taxi cars as well, as you can see here. Dodge Diplomat New York City Taxi, number 2434. And you've got the rate to charge on the door, which is pretty cool. Nice details. I like the way the windows are partially inset on this model. They've really, really done a nice job with this casting for such a boxy, square old kind of featureless car, as a lot of people think of these things. I do not think of that. I think they all have their own kind of look. It's just a look of the 80s, really. I mean, this is what I grew up seeing on the roads, were big, boxy, square cars. Now we got a whole bunch of jelly beans. So to each their own. I like the jelly bean cars too, but I do like these big old boxy cars of yesteryear. We'll never see them again, really. So let's just do a side-by-side on the two Diplomats. That's why we've got them here, since we did just review this A-Team Diplomat in the last video. Apologies if you find this repetitive, but you know, we're doing a comparison here. Nice and shiny on those bases. Those will tarnish up a little bit in time, which is just fine with me. They almost look a little more realistic once they're out of the packages. They do tarnish up slightly. And then, of course, we've got the Caprice Classic here. This is only the second release, I believe, that doesn't have a police or taxi decoration on it. So the first one was from the Vintage Ad Series and was actually a very similar color to this car. I should have grabbed that one from the shelf, but overall, at the price point, I'm very happy with the Greenlight models. I have to say that honestly. For all the complaining I do, it's mainly for the focus of the channel, and actually that we're doing good, honest reviews of a product here. I'm not sponsored or endorsed in any way. I buy all this stuff with my own money, so there's that, which is nice. Nice to be able to just look at this stuff honestly with you guys. And really, I mean, you can tell I like this stuff. I buy a lot of this stuff. I've got my whole basement wall-to-wall Greenlight cars and Hot Wheels. So that was the 83 Jimmy Sierra Classic. We've seen quite a few of those. Good rolling vehicle. Cap tends to stay on. It's a little loose, but it stays on, unlike the Bronco. The Caprice, it rolls. They don't sound great when they roll, obviously, but they roll. And we've got white walls on this car. And actually, it's not too bad as far as the wobbly white walls. We've got one wobbly white wall on the front wheel. That's basically just where the tire, I guess it's just not perfectly centered with the white wall line. But all the other tires were very good on this model. And finishing off with probably my favorite. It's the best rolling, sounds the best, looks the best. It's got all that weathering. And I honestly would love to see a whole line of cars from Greenlight, like a whole box, just all weathered instead of just like one or two in each box. Like a whole weathered segment barn finds, they could call it, or field cars, or junkyard series, scrapyard series, something like that, you know, would be really cool. I think it'd be a hit with collectors. If you guys think that's a good idea, or if you have some of your own good ideas, for sure, please leave them in the comments, and hopefully Greenlight will see this stuff, and maybe they'll make action on it. I know they do pay attention to us collectors a little bit, and obviously they do, because they keep releasing awesome models that we are enjoying, and they're doing well as a company. While I had this, just to switch gears off that topic, while I have Jesse's truck out here, here's Uncle Jesse's truck from 2007 in the Johnny Lightning Dukes of Hazzard series. This was released in 2007. Look at the distortion between the cab and the box on this particular model. That's a shame. But yeah, I had this hanging in my basement somewhere on a wall, and just thought of it now. Hey, might as well put these two trucks out there. They're obviously not the same trucks. This is like a 62 Chevy or something like that. Yeah, it's a 62 Chevy, and we've got a Ford. So Jesse may have had several different trucks. I'm not really fully up on that. Dukes of Hazzard's trivial trivia, if you will. Those were the cars that were released in there. That's a little bonus material for this video. Classic Johnny Lightning stuff. So there you go. That's my video for today. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you soon with another video. Happy hunting.